2007, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. The smartest city in the United States includes 5 of the top 50 schools in the world, among which Harvard University and MIT are the most famous. Crossing the gleaming Charles River, entering the Iron Gate of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and passing through the green grassy courtyard, there is a spiral-shaped building, the Institute of Biochemistry, and the book AIM. This is a research building jointly established by Pioneer Technology and MIT. The project team leader is Maya Hansen. The button is too high. The little girl stood outside the elevator. She is only 7 years old, with short arms and short legs, and she can't even jump up and down. The steps upstairs are high, and the elevator buttons are also high. The design of the institute is very unfriendly to children. Ana Garcia stretched out his hand, pressed the button, and hugged the little girl in his arms. Aunt Garcia likes to take advantage of Ana. Ana reluctantly pushed her big face away. Aunt Garcia was too warm to herself. Anna Hansen, the name of Qin Mao's life, Hansen was passed down to his mother's surname. In the past life, Qin Mao was an orphan. He lived in a low-cost apartment and attended a township high school. He slept in class and woke up as a little girl. At that time, Maya Hansen was doing an experiment. The little girl had a high fever and was 2 years old. Maya Hansen of Experimental Madman. Yes, Maya Hansen, the second female in Iron Man 3, maybe the third female, if you count Happy. However, among many heroines, she is not the vase, the inventor of the desperate virus, the partner of Aldreezy Killian, and the origin of everything in Iron Man 3. Different from the original history, Maya Hansen has one more daughter, the Qin Mao of this life, Anna. This is the world of Marvel, full of adventure and opportunity. Tony Stark is an alumnus of Anna's mother. There is a statue of Captain America standing on the college lawn, a sign of Roxxon hangs on the gas station, and SHIELD is hidden in dark corners of the world. The rich rely on technology, the poor rely on mutation, and very few people rely on their brains. Anna belongs to the third category, with a super high IQ of 220, which is slightly lower than the 230 of Wittgenstein, the most talented philosopher in history. Similarly, there is a 230, his name is Leonardo da Vinci. Therefore, Anna's IQ ranks third in history. Who is Leonardo da Vinci? The scientific community says that if his scientific manuscripts are exposed, they can advance the technology by 30 years. Who is Wittgenstein? After building the sewing machine, he built the airplane. After building the airplane, he wrote philosophy. After writing philosophy, he compiled a dictionary. After compiling a dictionary, he started construction. He has won countless titles such as scientist, engineer, postmodernist architect, the most important philosopher since Plato, and most importantly, his father is a billionaire. However, Anna believes that the IQ of 230 is purely fake, which is a fact and can be easily deduced. The normal distribution is the statistical law of most things in nature, and IQ is no exception. IQ on a 200 point scale, subject to a normal distribution with a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 16. If the IQ is greater than 145, it can be classified into 4th grade according to the Marvel score. There is talent, and the probability statistics calculation is only 2.5%. It is already a genius in the sense of ordinary people. Those greater than 180 can be classified as 5th gear, genius, only 4 parts per million, and the Black Panther is classified into this category. And those greater than 200 have already exceeded the score statistics, 1 in 400 million, which is very rare in the world. That is to say, there are only 18 out of 7 billion people in the world. They are called super geniuses. The most typical is Tony Stark. The only known genius with superpowers is superintelligence. The odds of being born with an IQ of 220 are 1 in 100 billion. According to the calculation of 50 million births every year in the world, it is a rare genius that occurs in 1,000 years. As for 230, it is a rare occurrence in 1,000,000 years. How is it possible? Therefore, the IQs of Da Vinci and others are purely fictional. Auntie will make you a glass of milk, Aunt Garcia. I'm going to change my teeth now. When she spoke, Anna opened her mouth, missing 4 front teeth, and went up and down 3 times. Rebirth has the troubles of rebirth, especially for 7-year-old children, such as changing teeth. It is very uncomfortable, speech leaks, and 1 front tooth is in jeopardy. But, you can put more milk powder, 2 packs, and soak it into a suspension, just so that the milk powder doesn't coagulate into lumps. Anna tried her best to stretch out her short hand, and she had to be careful to rotate the chair because of the back of the chair. The Marvel world only gave her super intelligence, and her body was still a 7-year-old child with short hands and short legs. The small backpack took out 2 plastic bags with hair in them. Aunt Garcia. Slap, the spoon was broken, 1 part was in the cup, and the other part was in the hand. What, you want to do short tandem repeat detection? Anna's mood is not fluctuating. If human nature is as simple as 1 + 1, Anna can calculate the ellipse integral. Unfortunately, the most difficult thing to control in the world is human nature, and Anna is not determined to master it. Aunt Garcia was shocked. Aunt Garcia was an old-school pedant. Anna thought. Before she came, she had thought about the question, deliberately avoided irritating language, and described the paternity test as short tandem repeat sequence detection. The same meaning, if it is the former, Aunt Garcia has given up, and now the situation is better, just a little better. What Anna wants to identify is her mother, Garcia's immediate boss, Maya Hansen. Pulling the boss's daughter to betray the boss, in Garcia's view, she is very sad to get through her own level. Aunt Garcia felt that she had to slowly and subconsciously stir the spoon, even if the spoon was broken. If there is a door, not denying it is the best news. The school assigns homework, and the topic is me and my mother. Then, Aunt Garcia folded her chest and looked like she was waiting for an explanation, so I had the first question: how did my mom prove my mom? My mom's hair is brown curly, it's the dominant gene, and curly hair is the dominant gene, while mine is flaxen, straight, and both. Recessive gene, that is to say, the probability that the mother will provide the recessive gene is 1/4. Considering that my father's hair gene is unknown, www.mentalnovel.com explicit and implicit are calculated as half and half, the probability of giving birth to my flaxen straight hair is 1 in 8, so I suspect. Looking at Aunt Garcia's expression, it is estimated that she is speechless. A few days ago, Anna looked up the laws of genetic inheritance in front of Garcia. She never imagined that a 7-year-old girl would do these unreasonable things openly. I just suspect that my mother is not a mother. I've seen the birth certificate issued by the doctor at the Calvert Children's Hospital, but the birth certificate can be forged. In case Mom forged the birth certificate for fear of my sadness, or Mom made a mistake. That's why I thought about DNA testing. Scientists pay attention to first-hand research data. Data is the foundation, everything, and I hope to get data. Scientists doubt everything, and Anna does suspect that Maya Hansen is cheating. After all, even if it is Maya's daughter, Anna has to say, to be fair, Maya Hansen is a bit reckless in doing things, much like the demeanor of a big boss behind the scenes, and, in the comics, Maya Hansen was originally the big boss behind the scenes, throwing out small bosses to attract attention, and finally trying to see it. Even in the movie, Rebecca Hall thought she was the final boss, if not for dying early. In the end, the relationship between Anna and Maya Hansen is not deep. From the point of view of behavior and habits, Garcia is more like her own mother, if it is not for Anna to confirm that Garcia is single. Aunt Garcia put down the milk, hesitated, and took the bag. A very normal behavior. Aunt Garcia is an old school after all, so she is very hesitant to throw a brick at the back of her boss's head. However, there was finally a good phenomenon. and I put it in my pocket. I'm going to tell Maya. Garcia is too loyal, Anna thinks. There is another point, the time for her question is not appropriate. Garcia can't tell, Anna thinks, it's impossible to pull back the bag, and it can't be discovered by her mother. In Anna's understanding, if it is her own, it's fine, but the biggest problem is that if she finds out that it is not her own, Maya will definitely throw herself into the orphanage and ignore it. The days will be gone, and the most important thing is that Anna's technological ambitions will be destroyed before it starts. Aunt Garcia, Mom will be sad. You've made Maya sad. Garcia retorted. There is no other way, only some tricks can be thrown out. I can help you find a boyfriend. Anna took out her trump card. In order to subdue the loyal dog Garcia, Anna had to reveal a little bit of the technological blueprint. Facing Garcia's suspicious gaze, Anna turned the computer screen, typed a few English words, connected to her own computer, and opened a database. Aunt Garcia, this is database 1. The data collected from more than a dozen websites, including Matchmaking, Yaduo, Nidio, and Single Christ, have been cleaned to eliminate interference, and are absolutely true and reliable. Then there is the second database, resident driver's licenses of permanent residents in the United States. I constructed a neural network, extracting feature vectors from database 1, and then extracting target vectors from database 2. What you see now is the learned neural network. Next, you only need to enter your information, including photos, height, education, hobbies, etc., and you can list your spouse according to the matching value, from high to low. I have found 10 in Cambridge, and it is possible to succeed. It's very sexual. Look at this, he was born in the military, is a current government official, has big shoulders and round waist, is mature and stable, and still has a national character face. Garcia couldn't help but glanced at it. Anna thought the effect was good. There was a door. The first candidate that Anna called was the first candidate, who was reliable in appearance and not fancy. Anna feels that Garcia and him are like Sheldon and Ami. Isn't Ami the spouse Howard helped Sheldon find from the matchmaking network? In fact, for an older leftover girl like Garcia and a house girl, her role in life is the same. Like Ami, the best way to find a mate is through matchmaking. But he was divorced and brought a 6-year-old child. Anna believes that it's just Aunt Garcia's misunderstanding. Garcia's figure is okay, and she is also a beauty when she dresses up a little. The problem is that Aunt Garcia is too arrogant. The more she likes it, the more she has to pick out a few. Mistake. Look again, his name is Jeffrey Solomon Mayer, and he has a lot of medals. The Distinguished Service Cross, the Silver Star, the Medal of Merit, yes, look, his mate selection criteria, knowledgeable, and high cultural standards. A traditional woman, which fits Aunt Garcia very well. Anna felt that Garcia was moved. She knew that Garcia had been ashamed of being single for 30 years, and the man in front of her was really the man she wanted in her dreams. He was tall and mighty, and his spirit was good, especially those eyes. The emerald green eyes exuded a firm look, that is a soldier with faith. Aunt Garcia, I can hack into his residence life information record, check the places he frequents, oh, the public garden, and bring his son every weekend, you see, and the photo he took with the Captain America statue. You see, Garcia, who has a strong sense of morality, did not stop Anna from invading private information. It seems that Garcia has been fascinated by him. Jeffrey Solomon is indeed a charming man, and broad shoulders can easily give her a sense of security. How did you get the residence driver's license? Garcia asked abruptly. I caught a few broilers alive and made a few springboards to attack the information I got from the DMV. Don't worry, the impact is not big, the scope is limited to Boston, and after picking up the information, I used an upgraded version of the CIH virus. It destroyed the information transmission chain and destroyed a broiler. It was a physical level of damage, and they couldn't find it even if they dismantled the plate. Anna feels that there should be applause here. This is also the first time she has made a move in 4 years. She kills one person in 10 steps without leaving 1,000 miles, and invades the DMV without knowing it, so that the FBI is dispatched, and one is found on the black market. Month, and found nothing. The CIH virus she used was produced in Bay Island and is one of the few viruses that can damage hard drives. After Anna got the virus file, she spent a lot of time researching and created CIH virus v2.0, which directly destroyed Sector 0. Even the MBR and the partition table are broken. If it can be repaired, well, it's right on the eye of Agamotto. Anna destroyed the information transmission chain, and also destroyed the FBI's tracking map, and Anna didn't report it. To sell resident information outside, the FBI can only give up without checking the source. You are a crime. After all, Garcia is not a pure hacker. He can understand it, but he doesn't understand the benefits. This is a crime. He is clearly holding a big killer in his hand. However, in Garcia's thinking, she only knows that the information protection system in the United States is strict. Once caught, it will be a prison sentence, so she looks a little terrified now. www.mtlnovel.com. At this moment, there is a rubbing from the door. Footsteps. Anna raised her head. Mom. Maya almost ran into Garcia Hedon. Garcia, where's Anna? Anna waited for Garcia to speak, and the rest can only be measured by Garcia's heart. Maya, accompany Anna in a few days to see the ducks in the public garden. Anna secretly made an obscene gesture. Garcia was a loyal dog beside Maya, a diligent and conscientious researcher who controlled her and planted a nail beside Maya, and also obtained biological information resources. Yes, Anna applauds what she has done. From the beginning of her rebirth, she planned to arrange the chessboard, learn computers, and fiddle with neural networks. The accumulation of initial data is difficult. The driver's license information management office took another 5 months, and it took another 5 months to read the memory data. Now it's finally time to harvest. In the night, Anna got Garcia's matching results. A total of 21 pairs of chromosomes were made, and the matching rate reached 99.9%. Anna also specially checked that there will be a 1.4% mutation rate in the mother and daughter genes, so Anna is Maya Hansen's daughter. Who is her father next? Tony Stark, maybe, according to the Time, the Barcelona Carnival plus October pregnancy, the days are almost the same, but there is another person who cannot but ignore, Alderazi Killian. From the bottom of her heart, Anna expected him to be impossible. That guy is arrogant to the extreme due to his inferiority complex. He will do anything to achieve his goals. From the beginning to the end, whether it is before 1999 or when pioneer technology is on the right track, he has always been a Diozi for 10,000 years. Lame, buck teeth, Quasimodo from Notre Dame de Paris, low-profile version. MR and MRS Mala have been looking for a place to live. But every time Mr. Mallard thought it was good, Mrs. Mallard said it was bad. She was always afraid of foxes in the forest, and she was afraid of turtles in the water. She said that she did not want to build a family where there were foxes or turtles. So they just kept flying and flying. When they flew to Boston, they were too tired to fly any further. Just happened to see a nice pond in the park with a small island in it. It's a good place for us to spend the night, said Mr. Mara. So they flapped their wings and flew down. The Boston Public Garden is where Mr. Mara flew off. American Children has a picture book story, Make Way for Ducks, about the garden where Anna and Garcia were at this time. Garcia read aloud according to the picture book. Anna was lying on the bench to do the calculus test, and when she looked up, she could see the name engraved on the back of the chair in memory of General Philip, a hero during World War II, who joined Carter and others create SHIELD. Garcia hopes that Anna will have a normal life as a child, playing football, making friends, watching swans. But Anna doesn't agree. I want to write programs, I want to do math, and learning makes me happy and happy. Anna believes that doing math problems can keep her thinking sharp, so she has a workbook on hand all the time. Aunt Garcia thinks that Anna, like other geniuses, has Asperger's syndrome. She didn't know that the so-called genius disease was originally a means for vulgar people to comfort themselves. They believed that if a genius was a genius in any way, it would be a god, and there could be no gods in reality. Therefore, they invent all kinds of strange diseases of genius, isolation, depression, split personality, homosexuality, just for psychological balance. But they don't know that the happiness of genius is far beyond the imagination of ordinary people, just like the happiness of the super rich can never be summed up in a bowl of broth and a golden pole. With an IQ of 220, Anna's brain runs 100 times faster than the average person, and she can easily tell the recipe for a weekend night last week, including a 15-pound turkey at $1.60 a pound, a whole chicken for $24, an oven bake for 3 hours, spread with peppercorns. Just like now, when Anna saw Garcia's expression, within a minute, Garcia's eyes looked in the direction of the sculpture 16 times. According to the pattern recognition she had learned from watching soap operas, this was a woman who was thinking of spring when she saw a man who was heartbroken. Performance. Aunt Garcia, I'll create a chance for you. Anna said calmly. Before Garcia could react, the little girl had already walked to the copper-cast duck, where the violinist played the song "The Skylark Flies High." In the melodious music, the little girl squatted beside the duck and chatted with the little boy, childhood sweethearts. There was no guessing between the two, and it looked very harmonious. Garcia thought that Anna had changed. If it wasn't for the short legs that Anna mentioned. With a click, the spacecraft fell from the base, and the most exciting Apollo 13 in history broke in two. Oh! Anna clutched her forehead and fell down, staring at the little boy with big blue eyes. The little boy squatted on the ground and picked up the ball. Daniel, why did you hurt your friend? The speaker was a tall man with big arms and round waist, and his face was full of majesty. God, it's Jeffrey Mayer! Aunt Garcia exclaimed. She didn't expect that the back she had been paying attention to for a long time was the ideal spouse matched by the neural network. She was born in the military and worked for the Massachusetts Department of Social Security. She looked mature and stable. The man is almost perfect, and the place where Jeffrey Mayer lives is just across the street from Garcia. Jeffrey Mayer, the third-generation Captain America, titled Patriot, and later served as director of SHIELD. His lifelong idol is the first Captain America Steve Rogers, a man full of justice and the role of national honor. At this point he was sorry for his son's abruptness. She broke my toy. You don't understand, your toys are already broken, how can you break them? Anna is purely creating conditions for Garcia and Jeffrey to meet. There is conflict before the plot, and there is a plot before you know each other, and only when you know each other can become couples. She thought about it, and set the topic of their chat to the educational point of view for children. Anna was heartbroken in order to pay for the loyal dog Garcia, and set up Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C, but Garcia, who had only a fraction of IQ in her EQ, could not use a backup plan. Aunt Garcia apologized, Jeffrey apologized, and they both apologized together and almost knocked their heads. Then they smiled at each other, explained the reason, apologized to each other, and finally asked their children. It's her fault. No, it's his fault. Then there is the conflict between the two children. Anna actually disdains to quarrel with a 6-year-old kid. He is neither Wanda nor Quicksilver nor Polaris, just a passerby. However, she can endure the stupidity of others, but she can't bear others to accept her own stupidity with peace of mind. Apollo 13 was launched at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The coordinates of the Kennedy Space Center are 28 degrees 30 minutes north, 80 degrees 42 minutes west. Northern Hemisphere. The Earth rotates from west to east, and the spacecraft borrows the centrifugal force of the Earth's rotation and uses a slingshot to project it. Now you tell me that it is a self-supporting launch. www.mtlnovel.com. No wonder the spacecraft will splash into the South Pacific. From the eyes to the expressions, every bit is saying to Daniel, "Are you sure you're not kidding me?" After speaking, Anna asked for a watch from Jeffrey. At 10 o'clock in the morning, divided by 2, the quotient is equal to 5. Point the 5 on the dial to the sun, determine the launch angle of the spacecraft in the southeast direction, and then take out the protractor to draw the inclination angle. 72.034. Daniel didn't pay attention to what Anna said. He was only 6 years old and couldn't understand anything. He didn't know what an angle was, what a spaceship was, or even the name of a toy. But, at one point, he was provoked by the unauthorized behavior, kicked out, and the spaceship fell into the Swan Lake. Really ignorant mortal. Anna shook her head and spread her hands. People can have no common sense, but at least they need a heart that feels guilty for not having common sense. Anna felt that her temper was already good, and mortals should have mortal self-awareness, but Daniel did not. Since she was a child, whether it was her mother, Garcia, or the neighbors around her, all of them were high IQ groups, at least day students from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Now, she is worrying about her father's problems. Daniel, that curly-haired, ignorant mortal, dare to provoke her? Anna, you should apologize. Garcia said, after all, you messed with other people's toys. Aunt Garcia, you should talk to Jeffrey Mayer about your child's education. Anna's task has been completed, and the rest has to rely on Garcia to play freely, so she is not afraid of this bird and runs away. Jeffrey had a bad initial impression of Anna. He brutally destroyed children's toys and criticized sharply and mercilessly. He felt that Anna was rude and disrespectful to people. Until Anna has been different since she was a child. When other children were just learning to speak sentences, she played computer programming. When she was 4 years old, she ran the laboratory to make nitroglycerin, and once blew up the garage. When she was 6 years old, other children went to at the age of kindergarten. Little Anna learned to wind a coil, and she was ambitious to build a 6L railgun, and it turned out. Garcia may not know that her work has been occupied by Maya, her life has also been occupied by Anna, and her life revolves around the Hansen family. She helped with computer programming, added nitric acid and sulfuric acid, and purchased batteries. Jeffrey saw this and paid more attention. When Garcia talked about Anna, she was amazed and complained. Her mind fluctuated with Anna's changes. She was anxious for Anna's crying, and happy for Anna's laugh. Even she herself did not understand the ties between her and Anna. To what extent? She can clearly say that Anna likes milk powder and dislikes fruit juice. She can also tell that Anna lost her first tooth at the age of 6 and that Garcia wrapped it in paper and threw it under the bed. She can also say that the railgun, the capacitor is 63V10,000F. Maybe one day, when Garcia leaves Anna, she will know what it means. When speaking, Garcia also expressed her own views. She felt that little girls like Anna should get more attention. In her opinion, Anna's appearance was inhumane, and sometimes it had an intolerable sense of stupidity. Occasionally aggressive, but she is essentially good. She will be caring and considerate, but it will be more difficult to get into her heart, and it will take longer to accompany her. Jeffrey agreed. If Anna heard it, she might sneer. First of all, she is really intolerable to stupidity, such as Daniel. It is very tiring to pretend to be a child, just like the Mahayana immortal who destroys the sky and the earth at every turn, running to the earth, inadvertently destroying some mountains and rivers. She is the same. Children's self-esteem is very sensitive. If they are not careful with words or expressions, they will cry, and even they themselves do not understand the reason for their distress. Garcia occasionally spit out some Maya information. Maya is very busy and needs to attend many international conferences. There are countless experimental arrangements every day, and there is very little time allocated to the mother-daughter relationship. Anna has never been attached to her mother since she was a child. She is independent at the age of 2, eats and lodging by herself, orders pizza at the age of 3, pays for herself, and does not need family care at the age of 7. Girl. If Anna finds out, she will calmly explain that this is the life she wants. Someone gives money, no one is restrained, and she makes trouble at will. It is her promised land. Jeffrey noticed that Garcia and Anna were visiting the park today. At this time, in Jeffrey's heart, Maya was very busy, Maya was irresponsible, and Maya was not a good mother. On the other hand, thinking that Anna often eats and sleeps alone at night, plays alone during the day, no one cares, and the lonely little girl hides in the house crying alone, Jeffrey feels that he has wrongly blamed the little girl. She just lacked the company of her mother. At this time, Anna didn't know that Garcia was adding drama to her. No one knew what impact this conversation would have until Maya found out. Information from 6 months ago showed that Jeffrey was a retired military officer, a government civil servant, and worked at the Military Retirement Service Center of the Massachusetts Department of Social Security. Now he is elevated. After entering the core of the Social Security Department, the Social Security Department has a subordinate Child Protection Service Center, which specializes in handling cases of children subjected to cold violence by their parents. In the United States, governments at all levels have a common concept. As long as a child is born in the United States, he or she is a citizen of the United States. Children do not belong to their parents, but belong to the country. Various public prosecution agencies are very willing to participate in handling cases of domestic cold violence. Of course, Anna didn't know it yet. She only saw Jeffrey walking over with Daniel's kind expression on her face, and felt that his big face matched his expression. It was very strange. Jeffrey asked Daniel to hand over the ball, and Anna felt that she should throw it away. She really treated herself as a 3-year-old child. She was going to tell them that she was 7 years old. She is really not interested in the ball. If you hand over the football, she will probably discuss the second-order linear elliptic partial differential equation with you currently under study. Garcia cast a stern look. Anna said thank you, helplessly. Jeffrey wanted to lighten the mood, and told her and Daniel that the sculpture in the public garden, Captain America, Steve Rogers, standing behind him was the Roaring Commando, and the corporal with a mustache and a hat was Durham Duggan, the shortest black man is Gabe Jones. Jeffrey Mayer is really a diehard fan of Captain America. He knows not only his life but also the members of the Howling Commandos. He should be a patriotic education teacher, just like a Chinese high school political teacher. Anna thought. Jeffrey www.mentalnovel.com. Do you know where the second smartest person in the world is? I was stunned for a while. Jeffrey couldn't understand Anna's jumping thinking. Who is the second smartest person? Who is the first smartest person? Without waiting for Jeffrey to answer, Anna persuaded, I hope to find Tony Stark, pat him on the shoulder, and tell him that as the second smartest person in the world, you are very good. Looking down at the sympathetic tone, it was very naive and even second grade. Anna has the capital of secondary school. She feels that in terms of IQ, she will definitely surpass Stark, and Stark should be glad that he is worth Anna's hum. The questioning avoided Garcia, for fear that she would find Maya to make a report. I can't tell others that I, Anna, are looking for my father. Maybe the big is my father. This makes Maya lose face. So, the best and most direct way is to ask Jeffrey, the current Social Security Department official. Jeffrey thought for a while and replied, Tony Stark is a big man. The whereabouts of big men like him are kept secret, and I have no way of knowing. Anna snorted, she was just trying her luck. Last night, she searched for information, and the results were all Tony Stark's lace news, either with a certain cover girl, or with a certain female star, as the president of the Big Mac Group has not done any serious business for 2 months. No wonder the old man Stan wants to kill him. Someone else can balance his mind. However, I heard that there was a gathering at Harvard a few days ago that brought together the smartest people in the world, and I think Mr. Stark would be more interested. Anna nodded. So it is. Oh, how could Tony Shide not participate in such a pushy thing? This saves on gas bills. In the early morning, Maya went to catch the flight to Sweden, and entrusted Anna to Garcia before leaving. Garcia was preparing materials in the study. When Anna asked, Garcia said, "If you want to attend the conference in a few days, you need to submit the registration information for the conference in advance." Garcia also attended the same conference. Anna checked it. This is a 6-day seminar led by the American Academy of Sciences and held by business oligarchs and celebrities from all walks of life. The participants include top talents in physics, chemistry, biology, and medicine. Which has been held for 15 years, is the largest and most comprehensive branded academic event in the scientific community. This year, it is hosted by Harvard University. I'll leave later. Go to Harvard University to confirm the registration information, don't run around. Anna was eager to wait for Garcia to leave. She went to the official website of the conference and filled it in with Garcia's passport. As expected, it showed that the registration was repeated. It seemed that Garcia had accepted the invitation. Then, using Maya Hansen's social security number, Anna knew that Maya would not be able to come back for the time being and was not worried about running into a car with her mother. Next is the unit information, professional title, honors, recommenders, etc. Anna fills in it scrupulously. The research topic, the National Science Foundation number. Anna found the document in the notebook. She remembered that Maya had a National Fund application form, as well as the name of the project to be applied for. The draft version was saved as a PDF and kept on the computer. It is estimated that Maya never thought that her daughter had implanted a virus in her laptop. As long as the computer is turned on and connected to the internet, Maya Hansen's computer will continuously send data to Anna's hand, various PDF, Word, Excel, text binary text. The information in Anna's computer is more complete than Maya's. Next, Anna found a copy of Maya's passport from the drawer, scanned it and uploaded it to the website. Anna extracted several important papers from Maya's personal website, each of which has an impact factor of more than 30. After thinking about it later, it was a good one, but they were all articles over the years. I found another article that Cell magazine responded to the receipt last month. Then it will take some time for the meeting to organize and review the materials. During the period, Maya called from the terminal, to the effect of telling Anna to go to school well and not to skip class. The biology conference held in Sweden is a special lecture for industry insiders, and Dr. Maya and Dr. Killian are invited. Because of lack of avatars, Maya asked Garcia to attend the meeting on her behalf. She never thought that her daughter was carrying herself and participated in the meeting in her own name. Just as Anna was dealing with Maya, ding dong, the doorbell rang from outside the door. "Hello, I'm the Child Protection Service Center. I'm here to investigate parental education issues. Is Maya Hansen here?" The person who asked the question was a lady of Latin race, holding the file. Anna felt that something went wrong. She had experience in dealing with the Child Protection Service Center, but when did the Child Protection Service Center come to the door in person? The social worker came in to check the room, and ticked a circle in the form to give a score. Anna stood on tiptoe and took a peek. To Anna. "Please leave it to your mother, and you must reply within 15 working days." His expression was serious. After the social worker left, Anna closed the door and opened the file. When she saw it, she was dumbfounded. It contained Anna's various file records, including when Anna took an Amtrak to New York when she was 4 years old, and was detained by the NYPD, New York City Police Department, and sent home. The photos are kept. The elementary school is late for school and leaves early, all kinds of bad things. The school teacher's comments are not gregarious, and the past events have been revealed over the years. This is the total account. The result is that the parent's score is lower than the D grade. If it is confirmed that Maya is not qualified as a guardian, it will be deprived of custody. Anna felt that things were not good. No, it would be great to let Maya see it. In the future, personal freedom will be restricted, and many things cannot be done. The file can't be transferred to Maya, but this is not a long-term solution. 15 days later, the social worker came to the door again, and the paper couldn't hold the fire. Plan ahead. Anna originally wanted to stabilize the development of the Bilanjai area. At this time, the Child Protection Service Center forced Anna to join the group and push the tower in advance. Back in the study, the results of the audit came out. The scientific community is so big. When we got to the top floor, when it comes to XXX University, everyone knows each other, and they all know their respective weights. The website asked Maya Hansen if she was invited to be a guest speaker at the conference, and a pop-up window popped up to answer yes or no. If it was half an hour ago, of course Anna chose to be the guest speaker, choose a position in the last row, and escape immediately after finishing the work. Anyway, the guest speakers are insignificant, so it doesn't matter if they leave the venue early. Now she has to think about it carefully. The hidden will soon break out in a unified way, and pretending to be a little kid who doesn't understand won't help. In the end, www.mtlnovel.com, Anna decided to stand at the front desk. She uploaded the internal presentation materials made by Maya, and together with the PPT, she was officially invited to be a guest speaker in the biochemistry section. Then there was another question. It was confirmed on the spot. Anna hugged her head and covered her face, sighed, and had to do her own thing again. The site was confirmed to be in the Harvard Science Center, a stepped building. Take out an electromagnetic bomb from the drawer, the size of a coin, a microwave remote control, a modified car key, a Wi-Fi transmitter to copy Harvard University Wi-Fi, and a TFT LCD screen. Put on the welding glasses, take out the air gun, insert all the components first, apply the flux, hold the soldering iron with tweezers in one hand, hold the air gun in the other hand, and solder them to the circuit board one by one, and soon one will be controlled by the microwave remote control. Wi-Fi transmitter, LCD screen, and a rudimentary version of the signal stealer for special agents composed of single-chip microcomputers are completed, and then the plastic shell is installed, which looks like a handheld game console produced by Nintendo. Anna tried the Mitsubishi resin buttons, and they felt pretty good, and she could play Tetris. The materials were taken out and placed on the self-designed balance car frame. The handle of the balance bike was printed with the logo of Osborne Corporation. It was designed by Anna and produced by Osborne Corporation. The 3D printing technology was used. The prize was awarded by Norman Osborne himself. Finally, put the electronic bomb of the game console into the small satchel, and when the preparation is complete, Anna sets off. The balance car walks along the banks of the Charles River. In fact, MIT and Harvard are sister colleges, separated by a wall, and students and teachers from the two colleges can choose courses to serve. So, the gas bill is saved. There was an accident during the confirmation. There were too many people, and children had no human rights. Several times they were lined up to Anna, but they were all squeezed out. Do you need my help? The speaker was a woman, carrying a backpack over 30L, squatting beside Anna. The woman was different from most Americans and spoke slowly. Beside her was a boy, who was at a loss when he touched the back of his head in the crowd. Hello, my name is Annabella, you can call me Anna, can I trouble you to line up for me? Anna's official name is Annabella Hansen, and Anna is just an acquaintance's name, just like Garcia's full name. It was Emma Garcia and Anna, and Maya only called her Garcia. My name is Gemma Simmons, then you can call me Simmons, this is my brother Leo Fitz. It turned out to be the super popular CP group in S.H.I.E.L.D., the famous Simmons Fitz. According to the time, the two of them were still in the PhD stage. Anna remembered that their teacher was Dr. Hall, who should have come out with Dr. Hall to gain knowledge. Simmons hugged Anna. Her body was soft and fragrant, and her eyes were soft and comforting. Due to the long-term investigation of documents, he is thin, like most high school students, with slightly hunched shoulders. This is also a common problem in academics. Lack of exercise leads to excessive relaxation of the back muscles. On the other side, Fitz had just left the laboratory environment and came to a lively place, feeling a little uncomfortable and uneasy. There was contact between the teachers, and after a while, a student came out of the staff and came to greet Fitzsimmons and the two. "Where's Dr. Hall?" The teacher and Professor Selvig went to the sculpture park to play. Fitz patted the back of his head habitually, and with acquaintances present, Fitz felt a little more comfortable. The two senior brothers arranged everything, picked up Fitzsimmons' luggage and glanced at Simmons and Anna. Simmons hugged Anna and looked around. "Anna, where are your parents?" It turned out that Simmons was playing with her just now, and Anna felt neglected and shouted, "I'm not here to play, I want to confirm the registration." Everyone burst into laughter, and some of the co-authors thought it was the children of the teaching staff who sneaked out to make a fuss. When Anna explained the situation clearly, Simmons and Fitz were still in disbelief, but Anna had no choice but to explain that she ran errands for her mother Maya. No one doubts a white lie. Anna is short. Even the urinals here in Europe and the United States are a bit taller, and the table is too. Only when Anna stretches her arms can it surpass the table. The staff didn't notice it at all. Simmons picked up Anna and put it on the stage, and soon Anna became the focus of everyone. The on-site staff are all students and teachers from the Internal Affairs Office. Young people noticed that the glutinous rice on the stage were overflowing with maternal love, and they were super enthusiastic. They took snacks from the fruit plate and fed them. It made Anna very annoying, and she wanted to blast them with a 6th-level electromagnetic rail cannon. The picture didn't look good, so Anna put up with it. She was here to do business. She took out a copy from the small satchel and handed it over to the teacher. The staff confirmed the information, printed out a colored tag, filled it with an identity magnetic card, put it on with a blue tape, and handed it to Anna. The photo belonged to Maya Hansen, but Anna knew that entering the venue would require face recognition. Maya's photo, Anna's face, how to recognize it? He secretly threw an electromagnetic pulse bomb in, and there was a magnet on the bomb, which was immediately attracted to the hand. Press the button, the electromagnetic pulse is released, and the electromagnetic wave that surges out affects the current, and the voltage of the computer is unstable. The screen flickered. What happened to the computer? The staff took a picture of the computer. It was only 2007, and it was using the classic XP system. The staff also knew that the most criticized thing about the XP system was its blue screen. Overclocking caused a blue screen, so no suspecting him, he restarted the machine. Here we go. In front of everyone, Anna took out the handheld and played the game openly. The computer entered the boot page again, connected to the wireless network, and a data stream appeared on Anna's handheld. The staff never thought that the Wi-Fi he was using now had been stolen by Anna, and all online information had to pass through Anna's gateway. The web page sends a request message, the gateway sends a response message, and the hexadecimal code floods out on the handheld. In a hurry, Anna couldn't make a decoder, so she just scanned the memory with her eyes. The encoding jumps too fast. Even Anna, with a super high IQ of 220, feels tiring to accurately capture IP packets in the vast data, version, header length, and slice offset. Account, Anna raised the ASCII code and hid it in her heart, the password and the dashes in case sensitive numbers. Oh, you're done. After getting the account password, Anna can modify the registration information through the VPN background operation. Turning his head, he saw Fitz looking at him with bright eyes. Anna scratched her hair, embarrassed. The cubes kept piling up to the top of the screen, and Game Over had jumped out on the handheld for a long time. And Anna just kept staring at the screen. Looking at Fitz's eyes, he seemed suspicious. But even if Fitz suspects it, what if Anna intercepts the data directly from the physical layer? www.mtlnovel.com. The screen displays all the original codes, and the account passwords are all compiled in ASCII codes. Anna and Fitzsimmons said goodbye, entrusted others to load the data onto the balance bike, and wandered back home. On the way, I almost met Garcia in a Chevrolet. On the other side, 2 of Dr. Hall's students returned to the hotel, and Simmons saw Fitz frowning for a while, and asked. Fitz scratched his hair, "Do you think Anna is a little weird?" "No, I think Anna is cute. I want to sleep with her in my arms," Simmons said. A blush appeared on his cheeks. When he hugged Anna just now, she realized that the little girl was fleshy and wanted to bite her. "Girl cheeks." Fitz sighed, took out a marker and wrote the words 450005 DC, "Do you recognize this?" I found it on the screen of her handheld, and these words kept popping up at the top of the screen. "I just paid attention to her playing cubes," Simmons said. She guessed it was hexadecimal, which is used in computer networks. Simmons has a doctorate in physics, and is only now pursuing her second degree, so she knows about computers. In fact, if Daisy Johnson is here in 5 years, she will know what the 8 hexadecimals represent, the header of the packet. A hacker like her, grabbing too many packets will generate corresponding sensitivity. When I got home, Garcia was already here, and brought back a lot of conference materials. Even if he listened to a lecture, he would have a preview, study, and review. Garcia's talent is not high, and it is all due to hard work that he can serve as the assistant to the director of the research institute. Anna returned to her private workshop, used a VPN to connect to the official website of the conference, entered the account password, extracted photos from the file, and replaced her own. The preparatory work for the conference was completed, and then she prepared to speak. In the morning, Anna put on the Weston school uniform, flat-bottomed round-toed boots, pretended to be going to school, pedaled a balance bike, walked out of the house, then turned around the corner, went around MIT, and went through the east gate of the college. "Come out and take a shortcut to Harvard University. The old man has a joke. A brick that falls from the sky can kill a Nobel Prize winner." The 2 schools combined have more than 250 Nobel Prize winners. You can see other ordinary schools such as Fields Medal and Turing Award. Less than that abounds in Charles Pan. Anna stands in front of Massachusetts Hall, a colonial era building that is the oldest surviving existence at Harvard University. At this time, the hall was restored to its glory more than 200 years ago, and scientists from all over the world stepped up from time to time. There is a huge banner hanging outside the hall, "The World's Future Science and Technology Outlook," a very awesome declaration. On the banner, there are 7 organizers standing in a cone shape, several of whom Anna is familiar with: Dr. Hall, Wang Li Wang, Mr. Fitzsimmons, Dr. Stern, Mr. Lan, the Hulk, good friend, Professor Selvig of space physics, Professor Streaking in Thor, but the most eye-catching is Tony Stark, who is everywhere. Standing behind the 7 professors, he stood out, wearing sunglasses, looking up and holding his chest in a way that stood out from the crowd. To sum up in one sentence, who has my cow? Stark is keen to show off, not only showing off his wealth, but also his knowledge, as well as his power connections. Anna finally understood why Jeffrey knew Stark's whereabouts. In Boston, Cambridge, as long as adults know Stark's whereabouts. It must be, Stark Industries is the sponsor of the World Future Technology Outlook Conference, such a high-profile conference. Who will be there if he is not present? In fact, the sponsors of the conference are not only Stark, but also Ann Quinn, AIM, Roxxon Oil Company, etc. Each party occupies a small line, and the big companies are also in order to increase their influence. Painstakingly. Compared with the arrogant Stark, it is like the difference between an emperor and a beggar. Anna can imagine what Stark asked of his assistant when he took the document: "The banner should be big. How big is the Massachusetts Hall?" 4 stories high, well, except the roof, the banner is set to 3 stories. The banner adopts the center composition method. My portrait is placed in the most prominent position, and the others can be used as the background. If Roxanne wants to be named, it can be placed at the bottom. And Stark does have such prestige, starting from Tony Stark's grandfather. When Stark's grandfather accumulated the first pot of gold as electrical engineer, the Stark family is climbing. Howard Stark Graham's status in the United States is similar to Edison. Stark Industries and General Electric have the same status, and Tony Stark is equivalent to the real version of Bill Gates, and more powerful than him, now the Stark Group. So Stark Group is equivalent to the combination of General Electric and Microsoft, and the glory of the past and the glory of the present are all gathered on Tony this freak. In contrast, the Black Panther is very strong. T'Challa, Genjin, the wealth of a country, can be on par with Stark in terms of hard power, maybe slightly surpassed, but in terms of soft power, as a typical individual American entrepreneur representative, Tony Stark far surpassed the Black Panther. So the most prestigious capitalist in America, Tony Stark. The richest capitalist, Tony Stark. The smartest inventor, Tony Stark. This is the person Anna wants to meet today. Anna made up her mind, sneaked into the venue, stopped Tony at a remote place, and then asked for an autograph in the name of a fan, which was signed on her face. Tony took the pen and bent over. Anna pulled 2 hairs, and then ran out of the venue. The plan is perfect. The first step of the plan. I am also a participant. Anna said blankly. The one who blocked the door was a black security guard. He watched his nose, his mouth, and his heart. The scientists filed in until they met the little girl Anna and stopped him. Anna thought it was because of the certificate. She took out the kindergarten version of Maya Hansen's certificate, shook it in front of the security guard, and then took out the magnetic card and inserted it into the ticket gate. The green light test passed, and the magnetic card was ejected from the other end. Anna deliberately chose her mother's most intimidating title, tenured professor at MIT, chair of the Department of Biochemistry, senior laboratory scientist at Lincoln Laboratory, and special advisor to AIM, each of which can make ordinary people swallow eggs. Lincoln Laboratory, the top-secret laboratory of the U.S. military, where Bruce Banner became the Hulk, and for this reason he formed a deadly feud with General Ross, destroying most of Lincoln Laboratory's data when he fled. The black security guard flipped over Anna's sign and compared Anna's face. I'm similar to Tyrion Lannister. Anna's face was neither red nor heartbeat. She didn't think she was lying at all. My short body bound my genius soul. Fortunately, the black security guard is only responsible for checking the invitation card www.mtlnovel.com and letting Anna enter the security gate after the electronic detection is correct. The security guard glanced at it and asked the black security guard a question mark with his eyes. The security guard shrugged helplessly, and the security guard was helpless, too. Children, don't go in and urinate anywhere. However, everyone has their own responsibilities. In America, which abides by the spirit of the contract, as long as the regulations are met, even huskies can enter. He took a handheld metal detector and swept it. The bag was beeping, and the security signaled to open it. What's this? Flashlight. Anna took out the flashlight and turned it on, and a beam of light hit the security guard's face. Looking left and right at the security check, it doesn't look like it. The light tube is about the same diameter as his arm, and has an arm in length. Also, the light-emitting diodes are different from ordinary flashlights. 12 satellites surround them and are installed around the tube, which looks like a baby's version of a bazooka. Anna put on her sunglasses and couldn't see the expression on her face. Did she tell the security guard that the flashlight was an upgraded version of a level 6 electromagnetic railgun? Anti-shock force, when in use, the flashlight can be aimed at 3 degrees downward at the spot where the light source is concentrated, and the minimum gear can smash watermelons at a distance of 20 meters, just like now. Just press the button, the head of the security inspector will be it will smash a watermelon. I don't know the maximum gear, but Anna only tried the middle gear, and she was thrown out. Big killer. The security check couldn't see the reason, but just warned him a few times. In the security cell, Anna also saw Garcia and Simmons Fitz walking side by side. Garcia greeted Fitz, who was a stranger. Fortunately, one of them was biomolecular structure, and the research was biased towards condensed matter physics. It is the direction of high-energy physics, so I didn't talk much about it. Anna breathed a sigh of relief. If Garcia found out, it would be embarrassing to invite out of the venue in advance. Perhaps it was the charm of Tang Yuanjing. After chatting for a while, Zhao Hailan assumed the identity of an aunt. The aunt laughed and chatted with Anna about family education issues. The contacts of learning are all students and teachers. They have a simple mind, age slowly, and dress up to look young, just like Zhao Hailan, tied a ponytail, and looks like a student who has just started college. In fact, she is in her 30s, and Maya is about the same age. I also have a child, 4 years old this year, boy, as smart as you. Saying that, Zhao Hailan took out a Samsung flip phone and took out a photo of her son, Amadeus Zhao. Anna felt that she was offended. Being as smart as myself is itself a demeanor to Anna. According to Marvel history, Amadeus Zhao has the ability to instantly calculate and detect the probability of occurrence of things. Anna also has it. When the IQ reaches a certain level, various superpowers will appear. Instant calculation, photo memory, detection of the probability of occurrence of things, multithreading calculations, and so on, but Anna is not satisfied with detecting the probability of things happening. She is more inclined to use one pair of kings to blow up 2 4-piece bombs to completely abuse the opponent, so Anna doesn't care about Amadeus Zhao. And the most crucial point, Amadeus Zhao is only 7th among the smartest people. Doesn't Zhao Hailan mean that Anna's IQ is also 7th? So Anna patiently said, Ms. Zhao, I'm sorry to remind you that Maya will win another game. Rare mother-daughter concentricity. When Zhao Hailan was stunned, the conference officially started. The host of the conference gave a speech, described the theme of the conference, paid tribute to the guests, and then introduced Professor Selvig of Space Physics, Professor Hall, and others. The person presides over the first report of the day. Professor Selvig preached the detection of gravitational waves and the conjecture of extraterrestrial life. There are 4 forces in the universe: the strong force, the weak force, the electromagnetic force, and the gravitational force. Among the 4 forces, only the gravitational force is the most special. The chunky doctor held his chin in disdain. Then Professor Selvig led to string theory. The scene ensued. The short and fat doctor sitting next to Anna stood up. Shit, it's all shit. You, a highly respected physics professor, actually believes in metaphysics. Dr. Chunky was excited, pointing at Professor Selvig's screen and drooling wildly. Anna shrank to the left subconsciously, mainly because Dr. Chunky's saliva was disgusting. Otto Octavius, please pay attention to your emotions. It was Dr. Chunky's companion who spoke, standing up and pressing Otto's shoulders. You also believe in Professor Selvig's nonsense, that the government taxpayers will support these unproven scientific researchers. Professor Ervig threw it in the direction of Professor Ervig, and the mineral water bottle was thrown from the 3rd floor, and the bottle hit the podium. Half the bottle of water was still swaying, and a pool of water stains was sprinkled along the way, which made the people on the 1st floor bewildered. Anna was the closest. Fatty grabbed the satchel to cover his face and shrank into a ball, while Zhao Hailan subconsciously stretched out his hand to block Anna out of maternal instinct. Thank you. Anna said, after all Zhao Hailan had kindness. At this time, the guards patrolling the venue were dispatched and forcibly dragged Otto out of the hall. Along the way, Dr. Octopus was still scratching his hands and feet in the direction of Selvig. Professor Selvig is a commonplace, unaffected by Otto, joking and mocking himself calmly, I was chatting with Dr. Pym about string theory, and Dr. Pym said something that still stands out to me. Well, that's pretty good. Mathematical tools. In fact, many scientists in the field of physics, including Dr. Pym, are dismissive of string theory. What is string theory? It is delusional theory, and its status in the field of physics is just like Sudoku. Toy. On the contrary, in the mathematics community next door, there are many mathematicians who are interested in this. After Otto made such a fuss, Zhao Heilun realized that Anna seemed to be listening carefully. It seems. In Zhao Heilun's concept, Anna ran the hall and played the house. Scientists who are parents hope that their children will inherit their careers and give them a scientific atmosphere from an early age. Zhao Heilun believes that this is Maya's arrangement, so that children can experience the world-class lectures in advance. Just seeing that Anna listened with relish, she couldn't help but feel suspicious. Can you understand? Zhao Heilun asked. She is a geneticist. She can hear Euler's formula as well. It will be difficult to understand it further. Good. Anna is very interested in string theory, but there is nothing else, because it is very high and requires a very strong background in mathematics and physics. The 11-dimensional space alone is enough to keep most people away. Professor Selvig hopes to detect the Einstein-Rosen bridge through gravitational wave changes, and then prove superstring theory. Zhao Heilun also understood. Then do you know what the Einstein-Rosen bridge is? Wormhole. Gravitation is an external manifestation of the collapse of the three-dimensional space plane. When the gravitational force reaches a certain level, the space will collapse to the limit, and finally a wormhole will be formed to connect another piece of space. It was proposed by an Austrian physicist, a theory perfected by Stein and Rosen and later disproved by Einstein himself. Zhao Heilun was surprised. She felt that Anna watched a lot of popular science programs and her comprehension ability was good, so she tentatively asked about the 11-dimensional space, and found that Anna could understand even open and closed strings. She couldn't help pressing her temples. I really don't know how to evaluate it, genius or peerless genius or freak. There is another question, the most important question, does Maya know that Anna is a genius, and if she does, how dare she let Anna wander around? Isn't she afraid that her daughter will create an antimatter bomb to destroy the world? Anna is not interested. She enjoys the process of conquering the world with her IQ, not the result. Now that Zhao Heilun has been conquered by Anna, she has lost her charm in Anna's eyes. I'm afraid that if Anna told Zhao Heilun that she had been working on computers for the past 5 years, and physics had only been done for half a year, Zhao Heilun could be OTZ. After Selvig finished his speech, he brought out Dr. Hall, and when he spoke, he also talked about the relationship between the two. It turns out that both of them are fans of superstring theory. It's just that the two of them are studying two directions. Professor Selvig hopes to discover the Einstein-Rosen bridge, wormhole, through the change of gravitational waves, and then prove superstring theory, while Dr. Hall presides over Fermilab. We hope to collect enough antimatter through a particle collider, and then use antimatter to build a small wormhole to detect gravitons, observe multidimensional space effects to verify the existence of parallel space, and then prove superstring theory. Professor Selvig joked, we should congratulate Dr. Hall. www.mtlnovel.com. He finally took control of the 4-kilometer particle collider, a small step of 10,000 steps, and he is finally one step closer to his long journey. When the get of the unified field theory reached the point, the audience burst into laughter. In fact, according to calculations, to observe gravitons in his lifetime, Dr. Hall needs to build a large particle collider that circles the Earth, 4 kilometers out of 40,000 kilometers, and a small step in 10,000 steps. And far away. Not to be outdone, Professor Hall retorted, comparatively speaking, I have taken a step forward, and I admire some people very much for trying to detect the gravitational force of 10⁻11 with an instrument made of 10 to the 23rd power. I hope you have a place in the vast universe. 10 to the 23rd power is Avogadro's constant, also called the number of moles, and the -11th power of 10 is the gravitational constant. The two are good friends, and it has become a habit to complain about each other. Dr. Hall satirized himself using microscopic substances to spy on superdimensional substances. It is already a crazy move, and Professor Selvig even more, hoping that superdimensional matter will form a macroscopic scale, and then directly detect it with macroscopic matter. His behavior is no less than expecting God to give food. What makes the two even better is the comparison of orders of magnitude. Professor Selvig mocked that Dr. Hall was a small step of 10,000 steps, while Dr. Hall directly mocked that Professor Selvig was looking for true love across a distance of the 34th power. Sure enough, a mathematician can use the mapping space to pick stars when romanticized, and a physicist can use superstring theory to cross dimensions when ridiculed. People who really understand that this is the helplessness of the two peaks of physics, and the unrealistic view of the unified field theory is just an act of peeking into the sky. It is completely a two-dimensional plane looking forward to the four-dimensional universe. At this time, the two of them did not know that in the future, one would really discover the Einstein-Rosen bridge and the other would discover the gravity boat. After all, it is the prospect of the future of science. Neither of them are talking about serious mathematical formulas, but scientific imaginations. Then Dr. Hall also proposed the attempt of superstring theory in condensed matter physics, and ardently hoped that someone would use superstring theory. Theoretical application to protein self-assembly folding. He believes that we can start with the 10-dimensional space of string theory, which is somewhat similar to the protein 3+3+3+1 space, and emphasizes Maya Hansen's attempt. Basically, all those who do science know a little bit of physics and their situation. Climbing the peak of science requires not only talent and hard work, but also courage and perseverance. So after Dr. Hall bowed his thanks, the audience applauded loudly, and the applause came one after another. Then, behind Dr. Hall, the scene fell silent. The staff rolled out the red carpet, and a group of fancy-dressed cheerleaders came out with placards and flowers. In the warm welcome, a cool sports car drove out. Under the service of the beauties, Tony Stark re-emerged. Debut. Anna felt a little anxious about Tony Stark's taste. He guessed that he wanted to turn the high-end scientific annual meeting into a masquerade party, without considering everyone's ability to bear. Helen Zhao probably already knew Tony Stark. When the music came out, she closed one eye, hugged Tang Yuanjing subconsciously, and put one hand in front of Anna's eyes. It was too hot. The participants in the audience made expressions they couldn't bear to look directly at. Capital penetrates the scientific world, and the rich are the uncles. The host was smiling, stiff, turned his face slightly, lowered his head, and blocked his hand with his hands. It is estimated that he already knew that he was wrong. 10,000 grass and mud horses galloped in his heart. Sure enough, money is the devil. Tony Stark really had the idea of hosting a masquerade party. He thought that as long as he was interested in space physics, Professor Selvig had to give way. From the eyes to the tone, to the frivolous gestures, Tony Stark probably thought in his heart, not just referring to someone, I mean everyone here is scumbags. The idea coincides with Anna's, there is only a small difference. The scum that Anna thinks includes Tony, and the scum that Tony thinks includes Anna. The topic of Tony's speech was the alignment and convergence system of laser weapons, mainly lasers mounted on space-based weapons. Under the command of the ground base, the synchronous satellite aimed at the ground target, and the laser shot reached the ground, only the diameter of the fist, pierced through the height of the five-story building, leaving only a bullseyed wound, super violent. 10 minutes after Tony took the stage, the audience became a drama of joys and sorrows in the world. The same sentence has different meanings in the eyes of different people. The young male scholar resonated with Tony's impassioned statement, and the prince and General Xiang Ning had a kind of sympathy. Young female scholars are obsessed with guiding the generals and handsome style of the country, and senior scholars feel that the future generations are terrifying, and no one wants to oust me before I die. When it was finally over, the host sweated and bowed Tony to greet him with a smile. Stark's speech is a potent psychedelic. Once the momentum wears off, everyone forgets, and what follows is Osborne and Ian Quinn's speeches. Fitz and Simmons seem to be very interested. The two are not only doctors in physics, but are also developing in the field of machinery. Osborne Corporation is represented by mechanical dynamics and has a lot of small inventions. As for Garcia, looking at the presentation report, she was not in the mood. She saw Maya Hansen's name, sent a text message to ask Maya, and found that Maya and Killian were holding a celebration in Sweden, and they needed to come back tomorrow night. The problem was the preaching the meeting will report today, how she was cloned. Garcia looked around, and with Maya's disposition, if she came to the lecture, she would definitely be sitting in the front row. No. Seeing Garcia's expression, Dr. Hall asked, "Look for Maya Hansen. I'm very interested in her work on condensed matter physics." Simmons listened to the interface. "Well, when I confirmed, I also met Maya Hansen's daughter, who is a little genius, but I don't think it's safe enough outside, and children should pay attention." Garcia dealt with it stiffly. A series of information from Anna and Maya were linked together. Thinking of the electronic components that Anna was fiddling with, Garcia had already realized that something beyond her control had happened. How dare she falsely report the lecture? Calling Anna's Nokia, it shows "Please leave a message, send a text message," and the text message is not returned. Ruined. Garcia thought. It has nothing to do with Anna. Anna stepped out of her seat first, put her short legs in ambush in the men's toilet, and when Tony Stark came in, she stopped him in the tone of a fanatical fan. "Well, you can sign me." Tony Stark saw the short legs dressed in British style. He stepped back a few steps and looked at the sign outside the door, then looked inside at the urinal. After a long silence, he spared Anna and walked in. Anna stopped, and Stark circled again, and Anna stopped again. Seeing Stark's expression gradually changing, it felt like he recalled some very unfriendly memory, as if someone had his face. Happy, Happy. He was calling for the bodyguard, Happy, and he had to solve it as soon as possible. It was impossible to pull his hair. www.mtlnovel.com. Happy's footsteps approached. "Happy, come and help the short legs to pee." This is offended, Anna understands, because of her nature. She has already taken out the electromagnetic railgun to shoot him in the face, but she has very important things now, and the task is the most important. She pounced on it and hugged Stark's thigh, not to be a pendant on the lap of the boss, but... Ouch, little brat tugs at my legs. When Anna succeeded in her goal, she backed away, and Stark stretched out his hand to stop Anna. "Tony Stark, are you going to violate the rights of infants and children and molest children?" Anna takes time to relax and achieve her goals. There are many ways to get out. Let me remind you that cuddling is a form of obscene means. Anna clapped her hands, crossed the line, and was still in the tolerance range. If she continued, Anna would yell. Tony Stark doesn't care, it's obviously a brat looking for trouble. Stark is not a good master, dear, you don't know, the law's surname is Stark. Tony hates children very much. He thinks that the bear child is the most failed product created by Shendy, and Anna, obviously hit the gun. He wanted to hold Anna and educate her instead of her parents. There were a few people scattered around the entrance of the lounge, most of whom were service staff in the lobby. They all looked in when they heard the movement inside, and saw Tony Stark and Anna. In their hearts, Anna was coerced, and she crouched pitifully in the corner, looking out with big eyes, begging for help from others. She was the victim. On the contrary, Tony Stark can only be the perpetrator. "Mr. Stark, I'm here." It was Stark's loyal dog, Happy, who was about to arrive. Stark's enemy was Happy's enemy, so he stepped forward and dragged Anna.